Quick disclaimer before we start this video, I want to say that all of these original Loomian Legacy design Loomians are amazing. For today's video, I just want to show a potential new way that some of these Loomians could be redesigned. This does not necessarily mean that the original design of the Loomian is bad. Anyways, with that being said, let's get straight right into the video. On May 19th of this year, Lando went onto Twitter and basically said, "One of our oldest Loomians is getting a revamp tomorrow. Left is old, right is new. For now, it will just be Twiddle, but the rest of its family will follow shortly after in another update. More of our outdated Loomian models will receive the same treatment in the future." So basically, a couple of months ago, Lando mentioned how some Loomians will end up being redesigned down the line. Twiddle's redesign was one of the biggest things, because clearly the new version of Twiddle looks way much better than the old version of Twiddle. The reason why this Loomian was redesigned, because the old one was made years ago versus the new one which is made recent. There are some Loomians in the game that are in desperate need of a redesign, such as but other than that, there are other Loomians that could potentially also use a redesign in the game. For today's video, I decided to gather some of the most talented Loomian Legacy artists in the community and ask them for how they would redesign some specific Loomians from what we currently know them as in the present. Starting off, we have the user Small Bacon, and they basically redesigned Mewtwo. This is how the old Mewtwo looked, and here's how the redesign of Mewtwo looks. In the redesigned version, Mewtwo looks way much more like a cow rather than how it currently looks. Other than looking like a cow, it looks like a very fluffy cow, which honestly looks very incredible. The current version looks very simple versus this new redesigned version looks very fluffy and very amazing, to say the least. On the tail, you can also see some what I believe to be bells, which clearly goes with Mewtwo. Moving on, we have a redesign by the user Vase, and they basically redesigned Wiki. Their reasoning for the Wiki redesign is that the current Wiki looks like a balloon, and in their version of the Wiki redesign, Wiki clearly looks like someone who wants to fight. See, me personally, I do not like to fight, but if I were to ever be presented with this version of Wiki in real life, I could probably throw a couple of punches to them because they're clearly asking for a fight. Nonetheless, this redesign is amazing, and with that being said, let's move on to the next one. Moving on, we have the user Regulus, and they basically redesigned Wishpop and Revenine. Fun fact about Wishpop and Revenine, these two Loomians are actually my favorite Gamma Loomians in Loomian Legacy. But other than that, this is how their Wishpop version looks, and this is how the Revenine version looks. Let me tell you something, this is very scary, and this is very amazing. I really like how the Revenine version basically has some bones sticking out, similar to what we currently know of for the Loomian Legacy Halloween reskins. And the Wishpop redesign also looks clearly amazing. Something notable that was done with these redesigns is that more fluff, or I guess, were added to the Loomian, and definitely a lot of more flame. And I'm gonna tell you something, this redesign looks simply incredible. Moving on, we have a Fan Cup and Urso redesign made by the user Alpha. Here is how Fan Cup looks, and here is how Urso looks. In comparison to the current Fan Cup and the current Urso, first of all, they look really amazing. However, they're not really embracing a lot of the stitch. This is why I really like this redesign, because in the redesign of these two Loomians, you can see that many different parts from the body are being stitched as well. Not to mention Urso's ear clearly fell out, and you can see a little bit of fluff there, which makes the redesign look very amazing. The user Man-Made Zombies did a very nice redesign of Bar Blast. I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, ever since Bar Blast got released, I haven't really paid much attention to it, and we all do know that Bar Blast is fairly new, so there's a very low chance of Bar Blast being redesigned in the near future. However, if it potentially were to get redesigned in the near future, it could clearly look something like this. This Bar Blast redesign looks very much detailed, it clearly does give some scary vibes overall, and ultimately, I see this as an amazing redesign of Bar Blast. The user LXC basically did ProPay redesign. Honestly, anything that involves ProPay slander, I am always a fan of. For this segment, disregard the disclaimer that I gave earlier in this video. I highly do not like ProPay. I feel like my life could have been better without knowing the existence of ProPay, but here it is. Now I know the existence of ProPay, and see how that turned out for me. Regardless, this ProPay redesign looks very cool. I do feel that the current ProPay is very plain, and I mean, it gets the job done. ProPay is not supposed to be like a very lavish Loomian. However, this redesign does give ProPay a little bit of more life. When I see ProPay, I just think of a Loomian that's clearly dead inside. That's my personal opinion on ProPay. Going back to what I previously mentioned at the start of this video in no way, shape, or form is meant to negatively criticize any of the Loomian Legacy designs other than ProPay. With that being said, these Loomian redesigns look amazing, and I want to thank every single artist that spent time working on them, because I really do appreciate that a lot. If you guys could redesign any Loomian, which one would you do? Let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah guys, that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Armenti, and we lit.